Okay, so I thought I would jump on and tell you guys kind of like, one of the updates happening right now with Walmart and the e-commerce space. And this will be relevant to you whether you already are running an e-commerce store or you're just considering e-commerce as a side hustle business. And I recommend e-commerce because it's a scalable product-based side hustle. That's what I call it. It's one of those. It's not the only one, but it's one of the models that I recommend if you are looking for like a good side hustle. You don't want something that eats up all your time. And e-commerce, because it's based on products, it means it scales independent of your time. So that's why you really should look into it. But Walmart, for the longest time, has been thought of as this traditional retailer that's just out there kind of, having these mall stores and things like that, these big Walmart superstores. And that's kind of where you go to grab stuff. But right now, Walmart is actually posing stiff competition for Amazon in e-commerce. And this is worth paying attention to just because you can kind of copy some of what they are doing and hopefully that benefits you in an impactful way. And when you're talking about Walmart, so their stock has gone up recently, and that's why it's such a big story right now on the back of the success they've been having in e-commerce. So in the most recent announcements and most recent financial statements, what they actually said was their e-commerce is growing at a rate of like 22%, which is huge. Like if you look at 22% per year or 22% based on, what the same quarter might have been last year, 22% growth for such a big company. Look at Walmart's revenues. This is a company that's in the hundreds and hundreds of billions in annual revenue. So if they can have a big department that's doing 22% growth, that's wild. That's how you become a $1 trillion company. And Walmart is certainly one of the giants in that respect, certainly a company to watch. But what you really need to be aware of is just how important e-commerce has become. And the guys at Walmart, they recognize this is, if they thought e-commerce was like a toy thing they didn't want to do like 10, 20 years ago, now they recognize this is the future better space. They need to be all in, and that's what they're doing. So they've made a lot of investments and innovations. They've invested in a lot of technology. So that's something that you need to be aware of. Like, what are the conveniences out there that you can make available for shoppers at your own e-commerce store? Like, what can you look at your shopping cart? Is this as smooth, efficient as possible? Now, I know one of the big moves they've also made is they've made instant delivery a much more prominent option, so that a lot of their orders are actually being delivered same day, which is insane. And a lot of other orders are being delivered by next morning, which is huge. And what that has done is that has increased e-commerce adoption in Walmart's target market, because people are getting their orders like it's almost instant, right? Like same day delivery, like within hours in some cases orders are. So that's just unthinkable. Like if you look at where we were, like maybe let's say 10 years ago, you could not imagine that you place an order right now and like within 59 minutes someone is knocking at your door and they are presenting your product that you ordered via an e-commerce website. That's just insane. But Walmart is moving with the times and ahead of the times. And this is how they've been able to really compete with Amazon, which has been like the #1 player for the longest time. I got news for you. Walmart is coming. And they're coming hard. This is like a 300-pound gorilla that's coming in, 800-pound gorilla that's coming in, with huge momentum. And at a certain point, it just becomes unstoppable. And that's really great and fascinating to watch. it's actually really good news, because it means it's gonna shake up things in e-commerce. There's gonna be a lot of innovation. Walmart is now a serious, compelling competitor to Amazon. And you know who it's gonna be good for, right? It's gonna be good for consumers. Now they don't have to be tied to just Amazon. They can actually get what they need, across a variety of online e-tailers. Okay, so one final point about how Walmart has made this shift. If you look at their customer demographic, one other thing they've actually noticed is that it tends to be the wealthier, more affluent customers that are buying items via Walmart's e-commerce, which is really remarkable. So Walmart has been known in the past for catering to kind of like lower income middle America, but that's not the only people that buy at Walmart. They also have some really affluent people that buy there, middle class people that buy there, and then kind of like lower income. But when you look at their e-commerce, a lot of it is actually being driven by the higher income segment of Walmart's buyers, which is really fascinating. So what they said was that they are noticing that this more affluent customer segment of theirs actually prefers e-commerce because of the convenience, time-saving factor, that they can just go online on their phone, on their commute to work, or whilst coming out of work, and order something that they need without having to go out of their way to drive to a Walmart store and pick some items up. And so when you look at that, what's happening with the customer demographic, I think that's really, really important. If you're in e-commerce, you want to be on top of data like that, and you want to study your own people, your own customers, understand who is buying from me via my online store. Why are they buying? How can I make this even more convenient? And that's where you see now Walmart is making all these investments in like getting that delivery time as short as possible, so people are getting stuff nearly instantaneous. And I think that's a really powerful move to make. So that's what I got for you today. And you can also grab some of my free resources, links in the description.